last video we made an MVC web app with a new page. So let's just remember how we did that. So we made a new page and put it into we called it login page, and there it is there. It just has some simple text on it at the moment. But then we had the controller, which is this file here, which is in the controllers folder, by the way. And if we look in the controller, well, first of all, it's got the name home. That's the name of the controller, home. And also we take a look at the action, which is the login page action. And that basically produced and then called the view of course, which is this login page. And that's how it works basically at the moment. Now what we're going to do though is perhaps add something to this a little bit more substantial than saying hello. We're going to actually make a form. So if we want the simplest form with a text box, then this is the code to do that. In fact, we don't need a name even at the moment, so that's the basic input text box. So let's take a look or run that and see how that works. So we first see our index page, and so we go to the login page, and so there you are. There's our form with a text box on it in its simplest possible form. It's a bit annoying, I guess, that there's no design surface that we can use. We have to keep running it to confirm it as distinct from other GUI. So let's embellish our form. We'll put a command button on it as well. So if we run that, we should get our index page coming up, and we go to login. There you see the command button being placed on it as well. So how does our form communicate? Well, first of all, let's try this bit of code whereby it's going to, upon pressing the button, we're going to go to the home controller, and we're going to have this form message. I'll just copy that because what I'm going to do is to go into the home controller and make a method which is called form message. So we can place that method in our home controller, which is going to be the result of a post, which of course is what the form is all about. It does a post. So form message, and we're going to make some sort of method in here. Since we're stipulating that it's an iAction result that's going to be returned, we're going to return just the index page for the moment. Indeed, if we run that and the index page comes up initially, and then if we go to our login page and submit the query, you see it just simply starts up the index page. So how can we communicate from here into the controller? If we look at the text, we can place an identifier with a name, and we can refer to that now in the controller. So in the form message action or method here, we can place this code, and I might just put a breakpoint in here and then run the code. And once again, when the index page appears, we can go to the login page. Now if we put some data in here and submit that, you can see the breakpoint stops in the controller, and at the moment it's null, but if I press the F11 key, then you'll see that the data is indeed being passed back to the controller. I'll stop the program, and I'll put a bit of logic in the controller as well. I'll just take the breakpoint off for the moment and place this logic in here, talking about if this message is ed, which it was, if you remember, then message box OK, but if it's not, you can produce oops. Now that's all very well, but how do we get that information back to the form, in fact the index form? Well, you can see there by means of this view bag, which contains various elements of data. In this case, it's maybe okay or oops. Now, so what about how do we get that across to so let's go across to the index page. If we take a look in here, by the way, there's our login page and the index page is here. So let me take a look at the index page, and I can place a bit of extra down here, which is the heading with the message, the view by message. So that ought to be transferred from here, which is on the controller. It ought to be able to be transferred back to the index page. So when we run it, we get our index page and we go onto the login page, and if we therefore type in the correct password, shall we say, or username, whatever that information is, and we get OK. But let me go back to the login page, and if I type in something which is not ed and then submit that, and we get oops. Okay, so just to summarize what we've got here, we've got an MVC program, which is the normal with the controllers, home controller, and the normal index view. We made a new page, a login page, and within the controller we added code to display the login page and also to receive the data in a decoupled manner, if you like, by this here. And then we finally send back the information in terms of this view bag, which is known to the index page to produce output on the index page. Well, obviously this is the simplest example, but you'd probably use this password that's been sent across to do other things like open up access to parts of the web and so on. But this is the simplest possible basic example.